Welcome to the Agee and Gates podcast, aka known as the Hoop Dreams podcast. I'm Will Gates, and that's my dog.
Arthur Agee in the building.
Agee, man, listen, man, we got some Chicago ties on the show today. This brother here, man, he is a graduate of Piney Woods School, and if you hear that name, let me tell you why. Because right now there is a documentary on Hulu that is talking about the history and the foundation and just the excellence of that school. So I'm recommending it to everybody. I saw it. I think it's amazing. Just everything that they have gone through, even up to this point, to keep the educational focus on our young African American men and women. But this brother here, man, he graduated from there in 1995. Listen to this, AG. He was 73-10 in his high school career. I mean, we're talking about, one of the best winners in school history. And then after that, he went on to play at Tougaloo and embarked on a successful coaching career. Now, when I'm talking about a coaching career, let me just name some of the folks that you and I both know. You ever heard of Tommy Hamilton?
7-footer. Had to go against that dude.
Yes, sir. You ever heard of Kendrick Nunn?
Oh, the left-handed killer. Yes, we have. Southside.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. These are just some of the folks that he has had the pleasure of coaching. And we just got to throw some love, man, to Mean Street AAU team, because he was one of the coaches over there, man. So we want to send some love to our Chicago community. But we want to welcome to the show the one and the only who is doing amazing things right now, currently serving as the athletic director at his alma mater, Yusef Fitzgerald. Man, welcome to the show. Glad to have you.
Yes, yes.
Will, I gotta hire you, dude, for that introduction, man. You gotta have to come on my staff, bro. Like, I need that. That's tremendous. I appreciate it, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Have him as the school's announcer.
Right, exactly, bro. Like I haven't had that one since I've been doing these podcasts, man. That was tremendous, Will. No lie.
Well, yourself, man, Agee and I, man, we've been doing this podcast because we're celebrating the stories of, man, about hoop dreams, but from the perspective that everybody has a hoop dream, no matter what field that they going in. Now, we love when we talking to the ones that are playing basketball because we're like, yes, that's the ultimate hoop dreams. But this is about you, man. So tell us, who is Coach Yusef Fitzgerald?
Man, I'm a young man that came out of a tough situation growing up, man. From seeing the instances of domestic violence and crack cocaine abuse in the household, and mom divorcing dad, and then her having to pick up the pieces for 4 kids and sending us off to Piney Woods. Piney Woods School is a historically black institution that's been open for 115 years right here in rural Mississippi, right outside of Jackson. And we stay on campus. It's a boarding school. And so my mom, uncles went, my cousins went, my sisters went. And so it was a space that is for refuge, if you ask me, to just become who you want to be. And going to Piney Woods opened me up to just, so many different cultures from Africa. Now we have kids from Poland, London, Congo, Sweden. So just having a different outlook on life coming from different places, man, just sitting right here in this melting pot of a campus. And so like for me, just knowing that, my mom could pull up her bootstraps and be able to get us through college. All of us graduated from college and doing so many things here in the world now. My mom is the regional director for Children's Defense Fund, where she fights for, laws and insurance and rights for kids who can't speak for themselves. They're below that poverty line. My sister's doing child behavior health over in Atlanta. Youngest sister's doing accounting. My older sister's a real estate mogul here in Mississippi. And just trying to make a mark, man, here in young men and women's lives that come from the same circumstances I do, man, because there's a lot of times people could have turned their back on me, which they did, and Piney Woods never did. And that's one of the reasons why I left college to come back and coach here was because it's done so much for me, and I was doing so much for colleges and other institutions. I said, man, I'm gonna come back and do it for home as well, because that's gonna give back to, I can reach a mass here instead of just the 15 to 18 kids I'm coaching in college.
Mm, 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 mm. Man, you got so much going on. I mean, first of all, let's jump into this basketball scene, man. Uh, your coaching career is already amazing, but let's talk about your playing career, man. I mean, you got to explain to Agee and I, man. You got back-to-back high school state championships. Y'all was down there doing some work, man. Talk to us about that.
So here at Piney Woods, we all stay on campus, right? And so us coming in, you had planes that were coming from DC, you had trains that was coming from Chicago, planes from New York, all across the country, Cali, everything, right? So when we get in the gym, we all looking around like, hey man, this might be special. Like it just happened to turn out that way. My point guard and I came to school here at Piney was as seventh graders, and we groomed up together. And so by the time we got to senior year, my junior year and senior year, because I had to sit out my sophomore year because I transferred ninth grade and came beg my mom to come back. I go average 20 at a high school in the rural South, in the rural Mississippi, and I just couldn't deal with it. I couldn't get haircuts. The clothes they were wearing, I'm like, man, I can't buy clothes. Like, I can't do this. I'm going back to Piney Woods. And so I get back to Piney Woods. I had to sit out for transfer rules, but then my 11th grade, 12th grade year, we brought the first championships to the school. We went back to back. My junior year, we went
Wow.
36 and 8. My senior year, we went 37 and 2. Only lost one game in Mississippi my senior year. The other game we lost was out of state. And back-to-back titles where I've never lost at home, ever. I've never lost a district game, nor have I lost a 2A division game in my career.
That is
Damn.
absolutely
All of us
insane,
were
man.
going places like, I messed up. I got in trouble. I was a mid-major kid. I got in trouble. I was supposed to go. I was getting recruited by Southern Miss, Western Kentucky, and other schools. And then I ended up going to Tougaloo from getting in trouble. I did something like the second semester of my senior year, my silly self did something stupid I knew I wasn't supposed to. So they suspended me for the month of January, which is crazy because back then, if everybody knows, back in the 90s, January was the recruiting month. That's when colleges all came. And so I missed a whole month, come back February, dude, get my starting spot back, and earned a scholarship still. I still went to school for full scholarship and then had a solid career at Tougaloo. And then just decided to coach after that, man. But playing wise, dude, we were special. Like the starting lineup, I'm 6'2". My point guard is 5'11", 6 feet. My 3-man was 6'5", 4-man 6'6", 5-man was 6'10". And we're in high
Wow,
school.
wow,
Damn.
wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But talk to
Dude,
us about that basketball scene, though, man. First of all, I mean, y'all down there, we're talking about state championships. We ain't talking about
yeah.
local. I mean, this is everybody. Y'all,
Everybody.
y'all talk to us about the basketball scene in Mississippi because we know what the Chicago scene is like. We know what the New York scene is like. What is the basketball scene in Mississippi?
As y'all said, Chicago is cracking. Like seriously, we get overlooked down here because of where we are, and we typically are looked at as a football or a baseball state. So if you pay attention,
Yep.
the
Yep.
last before last year, the last two World Series titles was Ole Miss and Mississippi State for baseball. And so, like when you look up,
Wow.
when you're coming down here, people are like, "Well, are y'all hooping?" I remember coming to Chicago and I was playing over at the school that Obama used to hoop at us, High Park, and we
Yep.
were going there with
Yep. High Park.
I think Jeff was a big dude from Chicago, played with the Bulls back in the day. So Merle takes me in the gym, we hooping, we get through and dude like, hey man, where you from? I'm like, I'm from Mississippi. Like, y'all hooping in Mississippi for real? I'm like, dude, you got Lindsey Hunter that came out, you got Monte Ellis, you got Mo Williams, you got James Robinson, Othello Harrington. I can keep naming guys over and over that we pumped out NBA guys. So the hoop scene has always been cracking down here. Like I was raised by Lindsey, Ryan Lothridge, and James Robinson them. So like I'm in the gym with them,
Mm,
and they're 7 years plus older than me. So like the whole time
Yep.
getting groomed to be the next guy. I just like I said, I just did some things that I shouldn't have that I didn't follow the path. But it's a bunch of us down here that can play, man. It's just we get overlooked. And that's some of the reasons why I do some of the things I do here back home. Because it was easy when I was in New York at Iona. I was in Chicago, Main Streets at Julian, at IMG.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy at those spots. But to help our people get out, that's one of the reasons why I came back home.
Oh, that's amazing. Man, I know. Will is the type of one that researches our guests and like to know certain things. I just like to go, like you feel like I don't know anything about the Piney Woods story. I want you to fill me in and let me know everything that's going on with them. But it sounds to me like that damn basketball career of yours in high school needed to be that needed to be a documentary.
Exactly. So what I got the complaints from all my teammates, like, hey man, why they not talking about us? You know what I'm saying? Because truthfully, we did some special things here, especially when we talking about not just back to back. They won a third title after me when I left. And then
Damn.
we were supposed to win a fourth, but some of the guys that were on that last team, man, they didn't stick to the same plan. And Coach John Neal had us on a regiment. So we ran 8 miles a day. All right. Every day. And that was just before we even got in the gym. So we ran cross
Wow.
country to stay in shape. We got in the gym, he ran us some more. We had a curl bar and we did push-ups. That's all we had. We had a leaping machine. And the only three things we had for weights, right? So we would do push-ups, curl bar, leaping machine, and then we were running. I was in shape for 10 years after Piney was without running not one more mile. And so Coach would
Wow.
always get us to the Coliseum, which the Coliseum is the big, like, Final Four type deal when y'all go downstate in Chicago. So we would get there, but we wouldn't win it. And so my junior year, man, I just remember coming to the team, and what I brought to it was toughness and grit and that grind, and I'll do anything to win. So, like, for me, if I had to bite you, I'll bite you for a win. You know what I mean? So, like, that's
Yeah.
what we were about. And then we stuck together being in them dorms. Like I tell people, you mess up in practice, you gotta see us in this dorm. Like, we gotta figure this out, bro. Like, why you can't pick up what coach talking about? We running for you. We already ran 8 miles, bro. We can't run no more. Like, we tired. But then the secret was this.
Yeah.
Right outside of our dorm was an outside court. Concrete, the real. And so you're talking about when I got there in the 7th grade, I'm playing against dudes from the Virgin Islands, Elroy Carey, Robert Moscoso. These guys are, 19 years old, and we're out there as 12 years old on that basketball court. We're getting roughed up early on. So by the time we got to our senior year, junior and senior years, some of the state, they were talented. Like, it was a lot of talent in the state. No lie. But we were just as talented and we believed in ourselves. And then we took a mantra of the Fab Five. So when we saw the Fab Five on TV, we were like, hey, that's us. Like, that's how we play. We throwing the lob. We dunking on fools. Like, we swinging on when we come to your gym, we are swinging on your rim. Like, you can count on it. And literally, like, we were pressing. So, like, we had this whole formula. If we got a dunk or a layup, we're in the 1-2-2, 1-2-1-1 diamond. If we get, a three ball, we in 2-3. If we get this, we in 1-3-1. So people couldn't figure out what we were doing defensively, and then we turned that press on. We gonna squeeze you till you die. Like, that's how we felt. Like, until your coach pulls his starters, we gonna be out here, and we need that basketball out of you. And that's the mentality I teach with. That's the mentality I approach life with. That's the mentality that we still carry right now with my teams today.
I want to ask you this, Coach. Being there now, the game has changed quite a bit since the time that you first arrived on campus there. But as I was watching the documentary, man, I saw this aspect where it's like there's still this grassroots type of um, indoctrination there. Like, nothing's given, everything is earned. Um, how have you been able to maintain that in your current athletic programs?
That's where I come from. So, like, coming off the land, that's what we're taught, and it's ingrained in our makeup. I have a new DNA makeup from where I come from. My environment showed me one thing, but Piney Woods showed me something different. And so
Wow.
now I teach it. Now you have to adjust nowadays because of there's a new kid in town. And when I say that,
Yep.
emotionally, there's a new kid in town. So you have to approach it a
Mm-hmm.
little different, but the work doesn't
Yep.
change. Like, for me, the kids looked at me the other day like, we running? Yeah. Where we running to? Just keep running. I'll figure out where we're going. Just keep on going.
Yeah.
I'll tell you when to come back. You know what I mean? And so, like, then I don't substitute. You can't be, you can be soft, but you won't leave soft because I'm gonna make sure that you understand
Wow.
it's real physical in here. We really get after it. Like, we don't cut corners. We do things the right way, and if you don't, you will be held accountable. I just had a meeting with them last night about so I got through with, during this time of the year you can only work out during certain times, and so I put the rest of it on them, like, hey, self-responsibility, self-accountability. Hey, y'all got the play that we're working on right now. Go outside on the outside court, work on that play by yourselves. And so I snuck down there, just to see what they were doing. And so I look up, it's 3 or 4 kids that's not on that outside court yet. So I creep off in the dorm, I pop in the room. Hey, what you doing? No, 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 no. I'll see you tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? When I see you tomorrow, have those track shoes ready because we're going to be on this track. And it's just the accountability piece breeds that success. And then also you just don't let them cut corners and you don't let them shy away from, tough challenges in life. That's what it's going to be.
Yes.
So like for us in that gym, like it's funny because I have a postgraduate program here and we had North Carolina Greensboro had came down to recruit some of the guys last week. And so postgrad just got here a week ago, so they're still getting acclimated. So postgrad gets done, and my high school guys hit the floor. They're on that baseline, toes to the line. Nobody's talking. Everybody waiting on me. Then they get to stretching without me telling them, like, hey, coach is talking over there. Let's go and stretch. They start stretching again. Self-reliance, self-accountability. Get through stretching. They know we pray. Get to this middle so we can pray. They waiting on me in the middle, already circled up to pray. We get through praying. They sprint to that baseline. When I call that first drill, it's cracking because it's just standards you put in place to make sure that they can't get around it. Hey, we don't move on no walking in here. Everybody's on the hop or we on that line. When I say put a 9 up there, they know, man, a 9, and it might go another 9. It might be another 9. And you best to get down there and back at 9 now. So again, just standards of excellence that you ingrain in their heads, it'll go right now for basketball. And then they know coach doesn't take any shorts. Like, coach is going to be here with us and rock with us so we can get down with it too. So it just breeds that success. And then, like I say, man, just accountability of, I'm not going to let you do anything half behind. I'm not going to let you do
Yep.
it. Nothing in
Because
life.
the world ain't gonna let you do it.
They're going to eat you. They'll eat you up. Like I tell them, if you come in here and it's my job or yours and you come in here half-cocked, I'm going to whoop you to sleep. And I'm going to keep whooping you. Every time you come in here, I'm going to whoop you again. And I'm going to whoop you again. And I'm going to whoop you again. Now, you can bring your suitcase all you want. You're going to catch these things and understand, like, hold on, this dude not playing. And that's what they have to realize in life, because when you're going after that job or you're going after that degree, you're trying to be, this and that. You got to be aggressive, and you have to know, that somebody else is working just as hard as you are.
But I also would assume, Coach, man, with your resume, with all the guys you coach, there got to be a certain level of respect built in. I gave a few names earlier, but I mean, you coach Tommy Hamilton, Chris Fowler, my guy, Brian Green.
Yes, sir.
Super athletic.
Yes, sir.
You've coached Kendrick Nunn. You've coached, my goodness, Bruce Stevenson. I mean, a lot of folks don't know this, man. You've coached Anthony Davis. I mean, it's just, I was looking at him. I didn't even know you coached Russell Woods.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, you had Russell.
Yep.
And then you had the twins. You had Keith and Kevin Gray. I'm like, but there has to be a level of, when you walk in the gym, that these kids, I guess my question is, did you put that out there first? Or you like, hey, listen,
as soon as I walk in the door,
I've been here, did it, know how to, absolutely.
As soon as I walk in the door, I don't even tell them. I tell no kid who I've coached or what I've done when I walk in the door. I tell them from the beginning, I say, I'm not going to play with you. And so, kids, they want to get chummy with the coach. They want to do this. Nah, I'm not going to play with you at all. Like, not from day one, when I walk in the building, when Anthony Davis walked up to me like, coach, I'm coach. And you going to listen to what I say. If you don't, I'm going to be on your neck. And so when I lead with that, some people say, man, you go off so hard so early. Yeah, because if I go in there soft early, you're going to run over me and then I can't get that back. If I go in there aggressive from the door, I can always pull back like, hey, I'm sorry. I know I told y'all to play defense like that, but we going to foul out. Y'all got to chill. And it's the same way with the relationship, because I'm not a child. I'm not your friend. I am here to get you to a certain level. Like, I'm not about to be buddy, but I can be buddy with your pops. And that's what people don't know. A lot of times, like Kendrick Nunn's dad, he ain't not going to drink Heinekens. Anthony Davis' dad, we're going to go out and have us some vodka and some MGDs. You know what I'm saying? So, like, those are the people who I hang with. You children, y'all go upstairs. What y'all doing down here? Get y'all butt upstairs and go do some kid stuff. And that's where it stays. I don't skew that line. And I think that's where a lot of young coaches get caught up. They want to be the kid's friend because they think the kid is respecting them from that level. No, you're going to respect me as a man first and a parent. I'm a parent 3 times. And that's my biggest accomplishment. My son is coaching in college now as an assistant coach at a junior college. My 12-year-old daughter, she runs me. My 5-year-old daughter, she runs me too. So I'm losing on those two, but my son got it.
hey, I wouldn't mind losing to them two.
Man.
Because them the ones right there, boy.
Man, my last one, bro, my 5-year-old is about to be 6 in November. She's been here before. Like, I don't know, who this
He said
is.
she's been here before,
Yeah,
Will.
I don't know what's going on, but, she tells me things that's logical, too. That's what gets me. I was like, I'll say something like, oh, I'm going to pick up your sister and I'll be right back, but I'm going to go home first. Well, Dad, how about you go pick up my sister first, drop her off, then you go home and do whatever you got to do, and that'll be a much better decision. And my mom looked at me, and I looked at her, and I was like, what are you saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you go off? No, you can't go off because she's right. So you just got to do what she says do. And it's like somebody called me soft the other day. I was like, yeah, you might be right, but wait till I get in this gym. I'm going to take it out on somebody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, how did you transition yourself from playing the game to coaching the game? And did you think about playing after college?
I didn't transition. So I coached the same way I played. That's one. And then with the same intensity, the same grit, same grind. But then what I tried to keep, which I think a lot of coaches lose, is remembering when you were a player. Remembering how you felt when coach got on your behind. Remembering when coach said certain things to you, what you didn't like, what you did like. Like, so what I do, which a lot of coaches don't do, I am full 100% transparency. So, like, if I go off on you, soon as I get through going off, I'm going to pull you to the side and say, hey, now this is why I got on your behind. Because this is going to translate when you're talking about either the next level or life. You can't do that right here, man. If you don't touch every line, so I have a thing called Champions Run. And I know you've never heard of this. I don't know if anybody else is doing it in the country. I made it up. I thought I did, but somebody else doing it, kudos. You have to touch literally like a suicide, you have to touch every line on the floor. So that first fat block, back to the baseline. The second hash on the free throw line, back to the baseline. So forth and so on, including the free throw line, 3-point line. If it's 2 3-point lines, if it's 3 3-point lines, there's a half court circle, half court, the volleyball lines. Every line on there, you got to touch it and go back to the baseline. And that's if y'all can't stay focused. Right? So when I get through, they're looking at me like, man, we done. No, you got a 9. No, you got a 33. No, you got an 18. And when they look up, it's like, Coach, what are we doing? I said, well, we had to get in shape anyway. You get in shape one or two ways, with the ball or without the ball. You come here, do what you're supposed to do, you get the ball. You don't do what you're supposed to do, you don't get the ball. And that's how life is. You know what I'm saying? If you do what you're supposed to do, you get everything in life. If you don't, you won't get anything. So that's like my transition has never happened because I stayed in the moment. By staying in the moment, I'm able to relate to every child. It doesn't matter if they're suburban, if they come from the hood, if they come from London, if they come from Sweden, if they come from the Congo. It does not matter. Any kid that has come across my desk, Memphis, every kid that's come across my desk, I've been able to relate to because I take the time to say, okay, let me figure out he's a little different. Let me make sure he's okay. I got to talk to him this way. Okay, this kid right here, I can get loud with him and boisterous. This kid right here, I got to pull him to the side because of his ego. It's a lot of things that in coaching that goes into it, and I suggest for every coach to take psychology classes because that helped me in college. So in college, I took adolescent psych, child psych, adult psych. So those 3 college classes right there in this upper level classes, you're talking about learning so much about yourself as well as who you might be dealing with in the world. And then I took a sociology class to go along with those psychology courses. And that opened me up to different cultures back when I was 17, 18, 19 that people didn't pay attention to in college. They were doing, whatever they were trying to do with their major. I didn't even know what I was going to be coming out of college. I thought I was going to play overseas. But Arch, just like it was, we came out, it was 2 Americans per team over there. So it was hard to get there. And so I fledgled, I bounced around the city and around the state and doing little pro-ams and this, that, to the third and killing. But, it was only going to go so far. And true testimony to what I've gone through, I chose a different path fresh out of giving up on basketball. I went to the streets first. to be honest with you. And so I did about 9 years of just, hustling on the side, man, and just out here bad. And it taught me so many things about life on how to deal with people. So my gift of discernment has come from the streets. You know what I'm saying? So that
Mm.
environment taught me how to deal with every walk of life. So now I can walk into your neighborhoods and be like, hey man, that's Seth. No, that's Coach Yusef. No, that's Seth. Y'all don't know Seth? And my nickname was White Boy. You see my skin count, they
Right.
nicknamed me White Boy. Like, nah, that's White Boy, man. Y'all don't know White Boy. You know what I'm saying? So like those experiences prepared me for what the Lord had for me coming into coaching. Because mind you, I came to Chicago, and it's wild. I come to Chicago to get away from the streets because I couldn't get out. They wouldn't let me out. It was like I was that important. I moved to Chicago
Mm.
cold turkey. I had a chick up there that I was dealing with.
Mm.
Shout out to Andrea Bell, man. Bell Tax Services over there on the south side, man, right off King Drive, man. They doing a great job, bro. You know what I'm saying? Give them a little spot right there. But she allowed me to come up and stay with her. And no lie, man, the Lord is so tremendous. We driving down the street. I'm looking for jobs, putting in apps. I see this banner on a fence that says ITPHoops.com, InThePaintHoops.com, volunteer as well.
Mm. In
So
the paint, in the paint hoops.
in the
Yep.
paint hoops. So I go home, get on the computer, volunteer, show up on Saturday. I'm nervous. My friend, I haven't coached for real, so I'm nervous, man. They like, hey, coach, you know some drills and stuff you can do with the kids? I'm like, yeah. So I go instantly two-ball dribbling. So they're like, wait a minute, what's this? I'm like, hold on, let me get through. We do some more drills. They're like, dude, you can coach. I'm like, nah, not really. I'm just learning. It's like, nah, I got something for you. The dude takes me out of in the paint hoops, takes me over to Diet High School, which had been a grammar school all the time. I think they had just changed Diet right there in Washington Park. Just turned Diet to a high school. I walk in there with my resume. I used to carry resumes. All you young guys that see this, carry your resumes in your car. You never know who you're going to bump into. I had at least 50 resumes every time I left the house in my car. Walking there with the resume, dude, like you walking around with resumes? Yeah. What's up? So he marched my resume up. He reading through it just like you did, Will. Reading through. He looked up. He said, dude, you've done some things. I'm like, yeah, I guess. You're hired. Hired? Wait a minute. Hired to do what? You're the head coach of my varsity off at Diet. And guess who's my assistant coach?
Oh,
Foster. Miss Foster.
Miss Foster. Miss
Miss Foster,
Foster.
bro.
The guru.
The guru, bro. So
Wow.
on a level of humility, Miss Foster coming there, she doing the Miss Foster thing. I'm like, hey, lady, I'm the head coach. You lost your mind, lady. And then so I started looking like what she was doing. I'm like, wait a minute. I need to shut up and look. I need to learn. Man, Miss Foster taught me so much in them couple of months, bro.
Yeah.
So fast, but Miss Foster couldn't stay because
Yes.
Miss Foster gonna do something every time. Miss Foster ain't for school. Let me put that out there. Miss Foster ain't
Yep.
back then.
Yep. She's
Miss
not.
Foster wasn't for school, bro. It was for after school, bro. Like school ain't gonna like her, but I
Yep.
love Miss Foster because Miss Foster was doing what was needed
Yes.
for them kids, especially in inner city Chicago on the south side. Those kids needed Miss Foster, still do. And so,
Yep.
learn from
Yep.
Miss Foster. I leave there. I go to junior high school with the infamous Lauren Jackson.
Lauren Jackson, baby.
Lauren Jackson, LJ. So I get over there with him. Funny story. I don't know Lauren can't has the his disability. I don't know it
Oh,
at the
okay.
time. So when
Okay.
I get there, he's not looking at me. He's not looking me in my eyes. I'm like, hey, I'm from Mississippi, man. We look people in their eyes when they talking to him, bro. You tripping? He says, Chef, I have this disease and blah blah blah. I said, oh, my bad, bro. And so turn around though. Lauren is showing me the details of coaching. So I did like, if you want to call it a sabbatical, to where literally every day for hours on hours, we're breaking down film. We're breaking down footwork. We're breaking down sets.
Wow.
We're breaking down drills. He has videos from VCU, Shaka Smart. I mean, you name it,
Wow.
Duke with Coach K. Because you remember that's where Sean Dockery went to Duke. Remember, out of Julian when Jack had
Yeah.
Julian the first time. So he's back at Julian. I had done the Winterfest for the mayor of Chicago. I think it was Mayor Daley at the time. Kennedy King coach, the head coach was God the mighty man. It's a family of them, bro. He died. He passed away. Man, I can't remember their last names, but he saw me working out. Some kids gave me to Lauren. Lauren said, Grasshopper, you doing some good things in my city. You need to come see me. I stayed with Lauren all the way till I left IMG. Lauren got me the job at
Wow.
IMG, which is crazy. And he brought me with him down there. He got the job first, and he told them, "Hey, I'm not coming unless I can hire my young fella. Bring me down there." He taught me
Wow.
some more stuff, man. And that's when I spread my wings after that and went to college. So, I mean, it went to Jones Junior College from there. They were coming off a national championship. We ended up being ranked in the country both years. Go to Iona College, win a conference championship. Go to the NCAA tournament. Get the head coaching job at Hines Community College back here in Mississippi. Hines was a doormat program at the time. When I left, I ended up finishing back-to-back Final Fours and Coach of the Year in that league, and we didn't win the league. That's the crazy thing. Like,
Damn.
it was people
Wow.
complaining, like, hold on, y'all gave Coach of the Year, he didn't win the league. And I agreed. I was like, well, they're right, but I'm not going to give you the trophy back. Like, the trophy's gone, bro. Like, it's over. You know what I'm saying? And then right then, COVID hit, and I went to visit Piney Woods. And I was so crushed. Tyrus Thomas and I. Tyrus Thomas played for Chicago for a second. Tyrus is from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I was training Tyrus and Glenn Davis at IMG. So Tyrus drives up from Baton Rouge. I drive down from where Hines is. We get on campus. I'm a little late. Tyrus is crying. Like, literally, like tears, bro. And I'm like, bro, who died? Like, what's wrong with you? He said, you can't make this stuff up. He said, Seth, I feel the spirits that you were telling me about when we were sitting in Florida in this school. I said, I told you. I said, this is a holy place. Like, for it to still be open for that. And back then, that was 111 years. I said, bro, it's been open for 110, 111 years. I said, and it's a grace of God that it's still open in rural Mississippi that, we're sitting in the middle of, where it could go down. You know what I'm saying? Like, back in the day. Like, you talking about
Yeah.
1909, bro, where you know just as well as I know, 1909 in Mississippi,
Yeah.
I didn't want no parts of that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm a humanitarian, but I don't want that. I wasn't ready for that piece. So,
Hey.
turn around, and we get here. Prez says to me, President and I went to school here together. Will Crosby's actually from Chicago. He had got sent to Piney
Okay.
Woods the same way. Got sent to Piney Woods, 7th grade, 8th grade. He stayed the whole time, graduated. I was here behind him. He said, man, I need your help with athletics. Would you come back and be my AD? I was like, cool. So I wasn't the coach the first 2 years. They had another coach. Well, he ended up getting let go. And so they hit me with the okie doke, like, yeah, we're going to hire somebody else. When I came back from vacation, they looked around, was like, hey, we found somebody. I'm like, cool. Where is he? Where is he? You. Me. Wait a minute. I'm not coaching. I'm done. That was I was on like 17 years by then. And so it made sense. Now I'm back coaching. My first year we went 15-6. I didn't lose a home game. Made it to the second round of playoffs. This year right here, we're preparing for, a step up, man, because you got to be better than last year. So I got right now, man, I got some kids in here that we should be pretty good this year, man, and make a challenge at that state title again. That's my.
What's your division down there, Coach?
We're in 1A, so we're in the smallest division when you're talking about district and championships. But we can play any school I want to across the country because we're in the association.
Oh, nice.
So if I always go off the Roy Jones. I don't know if anybody remember when Roy Jones' dad was talking about when Roy Jones moved from, I think he was light heavyweight to heavyweight, and his dad was against it. He actually stepped down from being his trainer because his thing was, why would I run a Mack truck into a Volkswagen? Or why would I run a Volkswagen into a Mack truck? Not gonna work. Volkswagen gonna lose every time. I don't care what you're talking about. And that's how I do the same thing with my schedule. If I got a squad, people know, like, hey, if he call you for a game and you're an upper level school, don't play him. It's a trap.
What?
Yeah. If I call you,
What?
Arthur, if I call you, Agee, I'm telling you now, if you're a top ranked program, and I'm putting it out there, if I say, hey, we want to play you, don't fall for that. That is a trick. Unless you want that smoke. Because when I call
Unless
you,
you want that smoke.
we
Wow.
can't. I'll never forget. I was at Hines, and Hines was not a household name at the junior college. So we go to Florida to play number 5 in the country, Eastern Florida. Jeremy Schumann, the head coach at UT Martin now, man, does a great job. Wonderful dude, man. I've been locked in with him for years. So we get down there. Everybody's like, oh, it's so wonderful for y'all to come. We're so happy that you get a chance to get this experience. Have you ever been to Florida before? And I'm like, lady, what you say, like, experience? Y'all just don't know. It's okay, though. I'm not going to say anything. It's okay. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. And So I go in the locker room and I'm gonna feed them kids that gunpowder. I said, turn the music on. I said, these people talking about y'all a charity case down here. I said, they think y'all a charity and they gonna run over y'all by 20, 30 points. Them boys looked at me and I saw that red. I call it that red of a bull. And I said, oh Lord, I said, I just stirred this pot. We go out there, you look up in the first half, dog, we up 27. By the time they look up into the game, we beat them by 19. Dude, my phone went bananas, okay? Like we're talking about, I didn't even know the whole country was watching because Mississippi knew what I had because they knew what my recruiting class was. Everybody's watching the event because it's a high level event. I'm not knowing though, they're tuned into that game and how amped up it got when the scores went out. People said they started logging in like, dog, they up, like they up and they up big. And then when we get through the game, the lady who had told me the charity case statement, I walked over to her, I said, ma'am, thank you for having us. We really appreciate it. And I hope y'all invite us again next year. Man, that lady looked at me beat red. She was beat red in the neck. She said, I can't believe these folks are coming out here from Mississippi and whooped us this bad. Yes, we did. And we appreciate y'all. We take that pizza. They bought us pizza. They had bought us pizza and everything. I was like, oh yeah, this pizza tastes so good. You know what I'm saying? So it's just levels. It's levels, bro. Like I tell people when we came up, it was levels to it, and we respected the levels. Like the respective levels has gone out the window of it was a pecking order. Lindsay and them was above me. I respected them as such. Even though I got good, I respected them the same way, and I knew their stats. I knew where they came from. I knew what they liked to eat. Like if I'm doing a scout on anybody I'm guarding, man, I knew everything from what movie you like, bro. I knew if you like popcorn or chicken, whatever you like to eat, I'm looking for all that because when I get in this game, I'm using everything to get an edge. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be honest, I was dirty. Ooh, I was dirty. I would say stuff about your mama.
Hey, Coach Seth, let me ask you this though, because Coach.
What's up?
Because you say, because I've only seen IMG. I only seen IMG on TV. Like when you got down there, what was them resources like down there?
Ridiculous. You're talking about every gadget that you've ever seen. And
about IMG, yeah. What was them resources like? They say.
So Art, when I tell you, bro, like my first day on campus, I'm like,
dog,
what?
They say it looked like a college campus.
No, it doesn't. It looks like a pro campus. It's a pro campus, bro, not college. So Art, man, when I got there, my first reaction was, I have something better than this because I knew I had Piney Woods, but I had never seen the gadgets and gadgets that they had, bro. Like some of the weight stuff that you think you've seen everything. No, you haven't until you go to IMG. IMG had new. I remember every year, bro, they changing the weight room. I'm like, where y'all going with the weights? Oh, we got the new weights. What you mean new weights? They put out new weights next year? Yeah. Like every time we get new weights in, we getting old weights out. I'm like, bro, what y'all gonna do with them? We don't know. We're gonna give it away. Like literally and then the Gatorade science lab. Bro, I'm drinking red Gatorade all day. I'm hooping. I'm going over to the little machine. You know how you got the little soda machines? Bro, we got great machines like that. All you do is get the cup and stand there. That's what me and Tyrus and Glenn Davis met because they were drinking all the red Gator. I'm like, move. Get out the way. And they're like, man, where you from? Mississippi. Like, where y'all from? Baton Rouge. I'm like, well, we the same. Get out the way. I want the red Gatorade, bro. Like, literally, like, they testing us. So I tore my knee up. This was my first surgery at IMG. I had my whole career. I only had one injury, it's a broken jaw. So get surgery at IMG. This is my first time seeing the Alta G, where it's straight gravity work. You know what I'm saying? They brought me back. Art, I came back stronger than when I was before, and I was 30-some years old. It's crazy. Then you talking about strength. So all I had to do, Art, was get up, walk to the gym. Strength and conditioning was already done by a strength and conditioning coach, professional.
Damn.
That's working with the Bucks. The Tampa Bay Bucks is right there. Like, there they are right there, the big dudes. They are lifting in here with us. Then you turn around, we get on the floor. They got every foam roller, every stretch band, every. It's just every. And then we hit the floor. I'm doing pre-draft training down there.
You got GMs, scouts. That's where I met Keith Kreider and Keith, Sam, and Greg Hankey was with Edge Sports at the time. That's how we became cool. I was training Robert Stockley.
Wow.
Crazy story. I'm training Robert, man. It takes us a little while to get through the workout. Robert Stockley played for the Lakers a couple of years, played for Gonzaga. So I'm a Lakers fan from back in James Worthy. Magic Johnson's my favorite player, but Mike is the greatest. So turn around, the Lakers signed Robert Stockley. I'm like, wait a minute. No, Lord Jesus, no. He sucks. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to Rob, but he's terrible.
Yeah.
And we didn't need him at the time. We already had Ronnie Turiaf. I'm like, bro, we don't need Robert Stockley too. Dude, I look up who the agent is. It's Keith Nim. So I called Sam like, hey, man, y'all stop, bro. Leave us alone. Like, we fine over here with the Lakers. Y'all take Robert Stockley somewhere else. They're like, dude, you called me with this? Yeah, I called you. I'm serious. Don't sign him to another contract with us. Like, stop. Leave us alone. We ain't thinking clearly. That's how Sam and I and Keith and I became friends in the business. And we've been working with each other for 14 years since then. Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy stories.
Man, hey, the reason why I asked you about the IMG Academy is because that place is like Walt Disney World of basketball, meaning that you have everything that you need to get better at your fingertips.
Yes.
Meaning that if you're not hungry and if you're not a hungry player in that atmosphere, in that realm, then can you imagine someone who's waiting for somebody to fix their food for them, who's being catered to.
Exactly.
Like I heard a coach the other day on Instagram. He explained it like this. He was like, I want all hungry players, players they're gonna fix their own food.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I don't want no guy. I don't want no kid that's he living in a whole house like an IMG full of all the resources, but he wants somebody else to fix the plate. He wants somebody else to get his slippers. He said, I want hungry guys that are gonna be in that gym first and leave last.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what, and this comes from a rap song. You eat what you capture. You eat what you capture. If you don't go out and get it, you ain't getting nothing in my gym. And even at IMG, Brian Green will tell you. All them guys like Phil Green came down with Phil Green that played at St. John's came down there from Chicago with Jamari Traylor came with us. Shia came with us. Sundale O'Connor came with us from the Shy. You know what I'm saying? And like Tommy Hamilton Jr., the fourth or whatever Tommy that is, it's a bunch of them. But when they came down there, it was like they saw it too, like, oh wow, we're here. Oh no, we ain't using none of that stuff. Y'all gonna do the strength conditioning, and y'all gonna come here and do this old school stuff. We don't need that.
Yes.
You don't need them gadgets and gadgets. Because what you're not gonna do is become a spoiled child. And like you said, man, like if you're not hungry at this thing, man, you're not gonna be successful. Like and that goes to life and everything beyond because there's so many handouts that you're gonna get that occur. And I tell my kids now, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. You remember when Eddie Murphy had them guys sitting at the hotel and he put the bananas in the tailpipe and had them food up. Because he sent them some dinner and had them feeling all good about themselves, and then he tricked them at the end. Well, don't fall for the teacher telling you don't have to turn in this assignment till next week, and it was due last week. Don't fall for him saying that you don't have to come to class, and then you look up later on, his dog died or his wife left him. Now he mad. Now he gonna turn you in for whatever you haven't done, but that's on you because you supposed to do what you supposed to do, not taking no handouts. That's the things that I try to teach these kids now of not taking the handout, man, and not being in a situation where, you have to deal with this. And that leads to the JUCO Jamboree that I'm doing down here in Mississippi right now. So it's the first in the history of Mississippi that we're doing a junior college jamboree. And it came from the kids here working so hard at their craft, man, in junior college down here. They work their behinds. So I see it. I'm watching the videos they in their weight room. I'm watching the videos they in the lab. And they're not being recruited. So that's where the jamboree came from was, okay, you know what? Let's do our own JUCO jamboree right here in the South, right here in Mississippi, where we're in the middle of Memphis, 3 hours north, New Orleans, 3 hours south, Atlanta, 5.5 going east, Dallas and Houston going west about the same time. So now colleges have to come across this land anyway, stop in right here in Mississippi, see our JUCO guys. We got 44 teams signed up for this JUCO jamboree that's happening October 18th through the 20th right here in Jackson, Mississippi at the Mississippi Basketball Complex right here in Jackson, man. 5 courts, beautiful facility. Jeff overcharges me sometime, but we're gonna work on that. It's gonna be okay. But it's for the kids. It's for the kids, and I'm gonna tell y'all something that I've always said. If I do it first, that means somebody else can do it after. Like at the end of the day, when they get older, these guys got to take this stuff on and say, hey, coach started this. He's older now. We got it now, coach. Don't worry about it. We're going to help the next kid. Now the next kid helps the next kid. Now you created a whole generational change. See, I'm a change agent. You change what they've grown up to become and put that old school back in them by just showing them the way and properly explaining it. You guys are about as old as me. I'm 47 this year. They told us, figure it out. Figure what out? Life?
Hey, they
I ain't never
did.
been
They
through life.
did.
Yeah, like we never figure how we gonna figure out life? We've never been through life one time, bro. Take us through one time, then we can figure it out. Or how about just give me the tools that I can be successful? Instead of saying, the old folks, we had to figure it out, you're gonna have to figure it out. Well, you see how you lost a finger? How'd you lose the finger, bro?
Hey,
What not to do not to lose the finger, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, what
hey,
do I
hey,
not
hey,
eat?
Coach Self.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach Self, that rings. What you just said just rings volume to me because it takes me immediately back to when William was in Hoop Dreams and he was prepping for the SAT tests, the ACT tests, and Will said, man, soon as you don't tighten one screw,
Hmm.
he said everything else falls
Falls
apart.
apart. It's gonna fall apart every time. One that one mistake. Like I had his motto, you can't do things 99%, bro. That 1% off right there can
Yep,
derail all the 99 that you just had, and you had 1% to go to be 100.
yep,
You had
yep,
one little that minor step or that minor
yep.
piece that you didn't do derailed everything that you built. And it could be your
Bill.
house, it could
Yep,
be your family,
yep,
it could be your
yep,
car. It could be whatever when you're talking about moving along. Again, it translates to life. And that's what I try to
yep.
get them to understand. Like I get calls now and kids call me and say, Coach, thank you. Man, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be this. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't. And I always tell them, no, if it wasn't for you, you
For
wouldn't be
you.
that. If it wasn't
Yep,
for you, you wouldn't be where you are. Like you put the work in the right way, you're gonna get the results. If you put it in the wrong way, you're gonna get some results.
you gonna get. Yep,
You might not like them, but you're gonna get them.
you
You know
gonna
what I
get
mean? So it's the teaching of life, man, that I love, and it just leads on to doing things for these kids constantly, man, and putting myself the ego. It's funny. I was on a podcast or somewhere where on my president, he said ego stands for easing God out, and
what?
I said, Lord, appreciate that. You know what I'm saying, Lord Jesus. Now in my notes on my phone, my to-do list, which is almost 5 pages long, I got at the top of
Mm-hmm.
it, ego, easing God out. Man, if you drop that ego,
Mm.
bro, the Lord will bless you with so much because he tells you in the Bible to be humble, operate with humility. A lot of these kids
Mm.
get too caught up in the glitz and the glamour, and they get to feeling themselves and smelling themselves. Then you look up and you like, dang, what happened to Cuz? What happened to dude? Well, he went too far. You know what I'm saying? And good thing is we got some good ambassadors across the country that are pouring into these kids the same way. But we do have some, man, that needs to hear these things, and they're struggling with trying to figure out how do we reach the kid. Man, this how you reach the kid. You got to drop your ego first. You got to drop the ego first and put God first every time.
Hey, Coach, listen, man, we've had you for so long. I got a final question for you, and then my dog got a question for you. His final question, but I want you to uh, just share with people, man, a little bit about the documentary that's out about the
Piney Woods.
absolutely, and share with them, man, how because I mean the reality is, man, this is very historical. You guys are the oldest
Yes.
African
One of four.
American, you know, boarding school. To be honest with you, it wasn't even until I saw the documentary that I knew you guys even existed, man. So
Yeah.
this is historical, inspirational, man. Just give us some insight, man. What it feels like to be a part of one being a student there, but now being back representing what you helped build.
I'll tell you this first. I just left Atlanta last weekend where we had our all class reunion. We converged. When I say converged on Atlanta, 308 kids strong. 308 kids strong stretched across graduating classes from 1985 to 2007. And we were
What?
all there fellowshipping. We sang the alma mater song. We 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 all connected across generations. Because here at Piney Woods, this is a family. Like it doesn't matter what year you came here, even if you didn't graduate. If you were in that dorm with us, if you spent some days with us, you are our family. Like this is who I grew up. Imagine your neighborhood, right? Your friends that went to school with from grammar school, middle school to high school, them your people. It's the same thing for us. It's a community. Piney Woods is actually a city. We're actually a full city to where we're on campus where we have our own water. We have our
Damn.
own we have our own farm. We have livestock, crops, and everything coming off it. We eat the stuff coming off the land. We make our
What?
own sweet tea. We make our own Kool-Aid with our water, so it tastes a little bit better. And then you look up, you have older people that have been here 40 years, since I was in school. Some people before
Mm-hmm.
that, you got people living on campus here. Currently, our dorm parents live on campus with the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like we got dorms, but they're in there with the children in their own apartment. Their families are involved. My family's involved. My daughter's on campus all the time. It's a family is what it is. It should be named Piney Woods Family School, not Piney Woods School, because that's what we truthfully are, and we look out for each other. Like if I go to Atlanta, I don't have to get a hotel room. If I go to Alaska, I don't have to get a hotel room. If I go over to Ethiopia, I don't have to get a hotel room. I have Piney Woods family in those places that they're going to say, no, 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 no. You come stay with me. We're going to cook for you. It's going to be laid out red carpet. That's who we are. The documentary, a lot of people wanted to document what we did at the school and what we came through. Well,
Mm-hmm.
this was a perfect opportunity to give the perspective of kids in 2024 and beyond,
Oh,
because we're
okay.
dealing with a different brand of kid now. So
Kids
what
now.
they
Yep.
wanted to show was what the kids are like now and how they think. And when you listen to what the kids are doing, when you're talking about they were testing the water with Brown University, testing the pH balance and the oxygen and the minerals all in the water for a research project that might be published later on down the line. They've made candles out of pine cones, bro. Like they were making real live candles out of pine cone and smoked stuff. They made butter. They made some type of butter in science class. The robotics piece. They built a submarine, bro, in the pool. We have a pool on campus. They used the pool to test the submarine to go to the robotics challenge. You know what I'm saying? They finished second in the International Robotics Challenge from one screw, wasn't screwed in like it was supposed to, and the submarine blew up, and we lost. You know what I'm saying? Just like you said, from the one screw. So again, we're teaching them, we're a classroom without walls. So you'll see our kids outside learning. You'll see our kids doing things with their hands. You'll see our kids, you walk on campus on Wednesdays, dude, we have work Wednesdays on campus where they're doing landscaping. They're working on the farm. They're working at the switchboard where they're answering phones. They're working with development, sending out thank you notes from our donors. They're learning things down the line that could be their careers or their own entrepreneurship with owning their own business, because we encourage that. Um, this place is as special as you can get when you're talking about they've done this for this amount of years with never closing, never losing accreditation, and we've never been shut down.
That was gonna be my, like, is there a secret to why you guys have stayed open for so long? Like, do y'all get any government assistance? Like,
Nope,
is these
none.
private donors? Like, what is the secret to a 1908 school, Will, in Mississippi
So I'll tell you
being
this.
open this long?
He
What is the
just said it.
secret?
He just said it. He said it's the family.
It's the family, but I'm gonna tell you more importantly, God. Like without this holy land. So my president, the founder of the school is buried on campus. His wife is buried on campus. One of his sons is buried on campus. The people who came in here with him to help him early on, they're buried on campus. Like
Damn.
we are kept open from the holy graces of the Lord, saying that this is needed in this space. It's needed for kids like myself. It's needed for kids in the inner city of Chicago that can get away from what they're going through and come down here and revamp their lives and start from a new and fresh. This place has been open for the care and the people that have come. If it wasn't for our president, Dr. Will Crosner, coming in here, he left from being, he was the lawyer of the Democratic National Committee in the Obama administration. He was a civil rights lawyer in D.C., big time deal. He left that practice to come here and be the president of the school to keep the doors open because we ran into some trouble. He's been here. He told me coming in, he was going to do it for 3 years. He's been here 10. I said I was coming down here for 3 years. This is my 4th. Yes, that's how it stays open. The love, the care, the people who are here to say, man, we're not going to let this fail. We're going to keep it open for future generations. That's why it has never closed.
Well, y'all are doing it, man. I like I say, man, I was just watching it. I was impacted by the students, the faculty, the staff, man, everything I saw in the video. I saw the growing of food and
Yeah.
feeding and just but what I loved is, man, again, it still had that, even though y'all are functioning on the highest level, it still had that grass root approach where there was a one-on-one. To me,
Yes.
you know what I felt like when I was watching the video? I said, man, this is like a high school HBCU. Like,
Exactly
like,
what it is.
Gee, what'd you say? A high school HBCU?
Absolutely.
That's exactly what it is. That's
like,
exactly what it is, bro.
This is
I explain it that
amazing.
way to so many people. Like, if you can imagine. So when I tell people about the school before they come, I'm like, hey, just imagine the HBCU, but we're a high school. And it's always like that. What? Like, I can't imagine that. Then when they get on campus, they all say the same thing. Like, whoa. Bro, you didn't tell us this. Yes, I did. I said a HBCU, which is a college. That means we got buildings, it's 30 plus buildings. The campus for school is 65 acres. Back up, I'm sorry. We're sitting on 2,000 acres, first off. Let's be clear. 2,000 acres that belongs to the school, okay? So that's first and foremost. Then, so 250 acres is the farm. On that farm, you probably have all types of lakes. We got 3 catfish ponds. We got a crawfish pond. You have a large pond that actually we can't figure out how the water is clear because we have well water. So well water has a tint to it, right? This pond literally has been drained before it comes back with all clear water. It's the clearest water in the state. Like you see straight to the bottom of the pond. You have that large pond. You have another one right there in front of the dorm. You have administration building, library, academic building, gym, soccer field, 2 dorms for girls, another dorm for boys, 2 dorms for boys. Got 2 dorms for girls that are closed right now. We're gonna open back up soon. You're talking about a full campus, and when people come on, they're like, "Seth, you never told us this." Well, I can't explain everything the way you will see it, and everybody's blown away the first time they're down. I invite you guys anytime that y'all can come down. The doors are open. You're welcome to come visit, come see the place, man. Come set up your podcast there. I don't know how to end the Wi-Fi. You already see the Wi-Fi, so you better bring some stuff. But come see it for yourself. Because Arthur, I've been trying to get hold of you for at least 4 years. When I first took the job, Keith said, we got to get you on our show. I said, yeah, I'm ready for that. And you don't know, I followed your career your whole life as well.
What?
Like literally. So how old are you now, Art? Agee, you about what?
I'm finna be 51 next month.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm right behind you. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
I'm 47.
Yeah,
I'm
47.
coming into high
Yep.
school when you supposed to be leaving out. You feel me? So I'm watching you the whole time. You see what I'm saying? So like, I always wanted to meet you just on your grit and your grind. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To be connected to you now is just the power of the network, the power
Yep.
of the school, the power of the people who are above us, the ancestors, the people who are gone and resting in peace. They see what we're trying to do. They see the impact we're having on these folks. We're the same thing. They see what we're doing and they don't do anything but give us more fuel. They're connecting the dots to a lot of people that you wouldn't normally be connected to if it wasn't for sport. I always say sport is a small world. When you look up and you start talking about, well, I know these folks, I know those folks. It's a small world, but then you talking about broadening the network by adding the school. So it's just tremendous, man. I appreciate you guys for having me on. It's a blessing.
Thank you for being on. Well, my dog gonna hit you with the final question, man. Go ahead, hit him, Agee.
Coach Self, what is the next chapter in your hoop dreams, brother?
Man, now that's a good one. The Lord's gonna tell me. I go where He puts me. I thought about going back to college, but right now, man, I'm loving what I'm doing with these young kids here at Piney Woods, man. I'm gonna stay here until He gives me that call that I cannot pass up, man. And it's I've wrestled with it a lot, Art, about going back to college, but the Lord has me in a spot that I think He wants me to be here. Until He tells me something different, I'm gonna be right here at Piney Woods.
Well, I tell you this, man. You are definitely doing it. You following in the path that is not just helping you be who you need to be, but man, others that's watching you, man. Thank you so much for being on the show today, man. Before we go, how can people get in contact with you? How can people get in contact with the school if they want to support, volunteer, whatever it may be?
Well, I give out my personal cell. It's 601-624-1413. And they can reach me anytime. If you miss me, if I miss that call, man, leave me a voicemail, shoot me a text. 601-624-1413. That's Coach Fitzgerald. And then the school's number is 601-845-2214. And you can always go on our website, www.pineywoods.org. That's www.pineywoods.org. You can reach us anytime, man. And please, we want as many kids as anybody is saying, man. And any network, anybody that wants to help and donate, man, they